Hey guys, Kat Von Yoga here. Today we're going to talk about wrists. I have several students who come in who have either old wrist injuries or maybe they're new to the practice, and the vinyasa classes or a hardcore class can put a lot of strain on the wrists. I'm going to talk about several wrist stretches and exercises that you can do. Welcome to practice them during a class if your wrists feel a little bit tight, or during the day. Maybe you have a desk job, or you like to text a lot, or maybe you're a knitter or crochet. These are great things that you can learn. So we're going to start really simply. Sitting, comfortable seat. Bringing your hands together. You want to try to find 90 degrees. You can bring it a little bit deeper if your wrists allow. Once you're there, fingers wiggle back and forth. Might feel a little funny, a little tight at first. Remember, it's okay to be up here, and if you're not quite to 90 yet, that's fine too. Want to do this maybe 20, 30 seconds. Just take a few deep breaths. Once you've worked them out this way, take the hands apart. You can point your fingertips down and bring the back of the hands together. Some of us may not be able to get the back of our hands all the way together. Some of us may have to bring it a little bit deeper. Some people may find that their wrists are very open and they can bring it past 90 degrees with the hands together. Remember that however you do it is perfect for you. So see what feels good. Once you're there again, wiggle the fingers. Maybe even make a face, because yoga is not that serious. Once you've done both of those, it's good to roll the wrists out. When you roll your wrists, make sure that you roll them both directions. So turning the fingertips towards you, and then bringing the fingertips away from you. Just to make sure that you have that balance. Wiggling your fingers and moving the hands is also a really great way just to loosen up the bones and everything in your wrist and hand. It seems silly, but it does help. Opening the fingers really wide, wiggling them around as best you can. You'll feel that movement up into the forearm. It'll help things out. Another one of my favorite wrist stretches is a great carpal tunnel stretch. So you extend your arms straight in front of the shoulder. Try not to let it be down or be lazy. Extended. We're going to hold our pinky finger back with the opposite hand. I have a lot of mobility in this wrist, so it goes about here. Once you're there, thumb is going to touch the ring finger, the middle finger, and the pointer finger. Release. We're going to hold the ring finger back and touch, touch, and touch. You work your way through all of the fingers, keeping the arm extended straight in front of the shoulder. You'll feel some opening, some loosening in the wrist and hand. Once you've done that, roll it again, inside and outside. Always repeat on both sides. This stretch is really great for the carpal tunnel. That's that space here in the wrist where all the blood vessels, nerves, and tendons kind of run into the hand. It's also a big band of tissue that connects around the wrist. Great way to loosen those things up. Roll it out, and when in doubt, shake it out. Okay? So those are some good seated wrist stretches. Some other wrist stretches that are nice come from all fours. Remember, in all fours, set your hands shoulder width apart, the wrists right under the shoulders. Knees go hip distance apart with the hips stacked right over the knees. If your knees need extra cushion, you can always fold your mat and leave it there. To stretch our wrists here, we can start as simply as spreading our fingers wide, placing them firmly on the mat, and then leaning side to side. Little shifts, tiny movements, leaning front to back. Mobility in your wrists is different from mine, it's different from everyone else's. Remember that you just want to work to where it feels comfortable for you. If you go so far that you start to do face yoga, then maybe back up just a little bit. You can lean this way and then rotate your fingers so that your middle finger doesn't point forward, but it points out to the outer edges of the mat. Rotating side to side, leaning front to back again. Maybe making gentle circles. If the amount of weight that goes into your hands from an all fours position seems a little intense, you could bring your knees closer together and closer to the wrists. Able to lean now side to side and front to back without putting all of the weight into the hands. Remember, do what feels best for you. You can rotate the fingers so that the middle finger now points back towards the knees, if that's comfortable for you. Sometimes this can be pretty deep into the forearms and doesn't feel like a good stretch. Go where it feels comfortable. Never forcing, never pushing. Any of these angles could be done or worked for 20 to 30 seconds, longer if you really prefer. Hopefully I've showed you something new or something that you can add to your already existing stretches. Remember that comfortable wrists, loose wrists are happy wrists.